It's October 20th, 2020. My name is Bruce Toski. I'm here with Bob Toski, my father. And you're 94 now, Dad? Or 93?
And how old are you, Bruce?
I'm 60-something, 63, whatever.
Well,
And
we spent a lot of time together talking about the history of golf, right?
yes, we did. We do.
And the people in the game.
Right. Today we watched this excellent DVD by Rolex, The Spirit of Golf, which is about the history of the Open Championship. I think it started, did they say, in Scotland? What was the name of that course, Dad?
St. Andrews.
Okay, St. Andrews. Well, I think there was one before that, playing. I forgot. But in any case, it's divided up into 4 parts. I think in part number 3 or 4, they talk about Mark McCormack contributing to the commercial success and development of the Open. And today we were hoping you could relate to us how you met Mark McCormack and what do you remember about Mark McCormack? Go ahead.
Well, I met Mark McCormack when he was going to Yale College, and I was then an assistant at Northampton Country Club, but I'd been on tour, and I was playing pretty good, and he used to come up to Northampton Country Club from Yale. He was dating a Smith girl, which is a famous Smith college in Northampton, and through him with his date, who was a golfer, she was a golfer. That's how I met Mark McCormack, and as a result of that, he spent some time coming to Northampton Country Club, and we became pretty close friends. Now, he finished graduating from Yale, and I was playing on tour and starting to become a much better player. And he then approached me about becoming an agent in the golf business. And his family wanted him to become a lawyer because he was studying to be a lawyer when he went to Yale College. But he wanted to become an entrepreneur in the golf field. And I said, well, Mark, it's a wide open field, and there was only one agent for Boston that way. It was an agent for Ted Williams, and I don't remember his name exactly right now, but he retired, and the field was wide open to someone that would want to become an agent for athletes in golf or in any other sport. So Mark wanted to become involved in this particular endeavor, and his mother and father wanted to continue to become a lawyer. So I was playing on tour, and he said, would you meet my mom and dad and see if you can convince them that I could become involved in becoming an agent for sports athletes? So I said, well, I'll meet you at the airport in Cleveland, and we'll have lunch with your mother and dad, and I'll talk to them. So we met at the Hopkins Airport, and we had lunch, and I said, Mr. and Mrs. McCormack, your son can always become a lawyer, but he has a chance now to become involved in the field that's wide open as an agent. And I suggest you give him a shot at that, and if he fails, he can always go back to become a lawyer. So they agreed that they would give him this chance to become involved as an agent. And he started asking me questions about who were the players that he could hire to become a part of IMG, which was the name of this company. And of course, you all know what happened and then he became very, very famous. And IMG became a very famous company. And I would help him to become responsible for hiring some of these players like Arnold Palmer, Del Fitzgerald, Gary Player, and you can just name a few more, but he then hired these people to become part of his company. And then he became so famous that he had models, skiers, he had then introduced himself to all types of players in different fields and became a conglomerate. Now, we used to play a lot of golf together, and when he became that famous, when I had a contract with him, it was only a handshake. He wanted me to have a contract with a lot of paper, and I said, no, Mark, we just shake hands. You tell me what you need from me in representing me. He said, I want 20% of what I help you make as an agent. I said, that's fine. And then Arnold had a contract with Mark, and he had a handshake, according to what Mark told me. So there were two players that Mark represented in golf that had a handshake. They were Arnold Palmer and Bob Toski. And I go back to when he had his 60th birthday party up in Orlando. And it was a surprise party, and I was notified that I was going to attend his 60th birthday party as a surprise birthday party. And there were only two golf professionals that were invited to that party. They were Arnold Palmer and Bob Toski. And I was very honored and delighted to have been a part of that ceremony. Now, Arnold always, and I taught his family, and he used to come down to my teaching center in Coconut Creek, down near Broward Community College campus. And I remember him coming down to spend some time with me and take a golf lesson. And there were a number of golf professionals there. I think it was Larry Rinker and Wayne Rinker and a few other people that were taking golf instruction from me. And we spent about 2 hours together, and he left. And unfortunately, not longer after that, he died of a massive heart attack while he was in a doctor's office waiting for an appointment. And the amazing thing about Mark was he had a very unorthodox swing, but he could control his golf ball. And he was what I call a real gentleman. And his success, which I was a part of, and I'll never forget how important my association with Mark McCormack was.
Thank you, Dad. We appreciate that.
How's that?